All right, so when you create variables in JavaScript, you precede it by the word var, or the keyword var, and that tells it that it's about to set a variable. But in JavaScript, or in jQuery, you do the exact same thing. So what we're going to do is, instead of doing this, I'm going to show you basically how you can use JavaScript to create a target and then convert that target to a jQuery object. So, delete that, there. Var el equals document dot get element by ID. Oh, there was a problem with my last code. Sorry, I completely missed this. The get elements by class name returns a list, not an element. So what you actually have to do here, if you guys were playing around with this and that didn't work, is you would have to open up your square brackets and put the index number of the element that is returned in this call. I just caught that right now, so sorry about that. All right, so back up here, we are creating a variable called el, which let's say that's an abbreviation for the word element. And this variable is going to be equal to document.getElementById text. All right, so now we've got this element. So let's console log el in vanilla.js. And by the way, vanilla just means like pure. Last video. I gotta stop that from popping up. That gets annoying. All right. No, vanilla just means unmodified, like pure JavaScript. Like if you're familiar with video games, you can mod video games, like Skyrim, for instance. And so modded Skyrim versus vanilla Skyrim is a Skyrim with mod installed versus a Skyrim that has not been tampered with at all, just like straight out of the box. So vanilla JavaScript. So el in JavaScript is going to be that. And then I'm going to console log el in jQuery. And here we're going to use jQuery to open up, to begin targeting an element. And the element we're going to target is the existing JavaScript variable. So as you can see, these two are going to print out differently, and that's kind of the main thing I want to show you guys right now, is that this is a JavaScript element, and this is now a jQuery element, so they're going to look a bit different. So I'm going to save it, and I'm going to refresh. So we got loaded. There we go. So if I come back over to the console, in vanilla JavaScript, you can see it's written like this. It's just a pure element, right? But in jQuery, it's now a list, I guess, where it has all these properties. And so all these properties are I think they're just JavaScript properties. And so basically it just gives you access, gives you quick access to a lot of things so that you can inspect it. And it does look different just because of the way that the object is built. So some things that we can do, let's jump back over to our, all right. So in one of the first videos, what we did was we created an event handler for a click event. So does this have a class or an ID? It has an ID of go button, so let's target that. So in JavaScript, you would add an event listener to call a function when that element was clicked, for example. In jQuery, it's a whole lot easier. So what you're going to do is you're going to target go-button, and you're going to say .on. The first parameter is a string called click. On click, yeah, I think it's click, it's not clicked. We'll try. And then the second parameter is what you want to happen. So in this case, it's another unnamed function. We just open it up. There we go. And this is our event handler. So let's just alert. Fantastic job clicking that button. Save it, and I'm going to refresh the page. I have to remove that loaded alert. So now when we go here, we click it, it says fantastic job clicking that button. So that's the difference in event handling. I'm not going to write out the JavaScript version, but if you guys, well, yeah, let's go write out the JavaScript version. So document.get element by ID. The ID is go button. I'm going to say add event listener, and it's going to be clicked, and the function that we want to run. So in this case, just alert me. Can do this. So up here, I'm going to go ahead and write my function, just called alert me. Alert. Oh. Save this. I'm going to comment out the jQuery because I don't want a bunch of alerts blocking the page. So I'm going to save this now. I've removed the initial alert as well. I'm going to refresh, and now when I click it, nothing happens. Let's see. Did I get the target right? Get element by ID, go button. Was it just click? I thought it was clicked in JavaScript, but click in jQuery. All right. No, I'm thinking of something entirely different. I apologize about that. It is click. So that's the difference between JavaScript and jQuery here. This, I don't think it's necessarily longer or shorter. It looks to be about the same. I mean, it's not too much longer. However, you have to kind of jump around with this one, right? This one is all together, so there's the benefit there. So that's how to handle events. Now, there are a lot of events to cover. So for instance, there's on hover. Save this, refresh. Now when we hover over it, nothing happens. Let me see, what did I do there? Okay. Instead of on, so the on method can be called in past hover, etc., etc. But instead of doing that, you can actually use a method called hover, and it only takes one parameter, and that is the thing that you want to have happen on hover. Save this, refresh. Now, as long as we're hovering over the button, it's going to happen. Let me do something better. I'm going to console log that just because it's going to be easier to see what exactly happens. Save it, refresh. Now I'm going to go up here. What happens is if you're still on the element and you're moving it around, this gets triggered. But if we do mouse over, sorry, it's mouse in and mouse out. Mouse in. What am I thinking of? On mouse enter and mouse leave. Is it camel case though? I think it is. Doesn't look like it. There. So when the mouse goes in, it does that, but when it goes out, it doesn't. So there's also a second part to this, and that's mouse leave. And so I go in, nothing happens. As soon as I move it out, it logs that. So you can use these in conjunction if you want an event to happen, if somebody enters and then leaves an element, or do something when they enter, something else when they leave, like a drop down, for instance. And there are others as well. There's mouse up and mouse down. So mouse down means essentially click, refresh, hold it down, and I'm still holding it, and it printed it out. So there's another half of this one as well, and that's mouse up. So I'm going to save this and refresh, and now when I hold it down, nothing happens, but as soon as I let go of the mouse, it prints it. So that's the difference between mouse up and mouse down. So you can do different things for each part of that event, I guess. And again, that was event handling in jQuery. Now, this structure of our code is something we're going to be using a lot when we move forward and actually do a project. And the next project that I want to do to demonstrate jQuery, I haven't really decided yet. Actually, it's going to be something that obviously using jQuery for is going to be a practical choice. So, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.